Good morning, Story Trading by VIPs. It's Tuesday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, CPI morning. So CPI headline came in 6.4 versus 6.2. The headline numbers, there's lots of numbers underneath that. Everyone's confused. I was listening to Bloomberg on the way in the office, and no one knew what to make out of it. They were commenting on how even the bond market was really confused, going all over the place. We'll look at that TLT and the UP in just a second. You can see SPY and QQQ keeps vacillating between green and red. So a lot of chop here. Markets don't really know what to do. I'm sticking with 50-week moving average as my line in the sand. As long as we stay over the 50-week moving average, I'm bullish. Okay, you can see that there on the QQQ and the SPY up here over 400 or so in the 50-week moving average. So lots of confusion out there, even in the bond market. Looking at the bonds over here, TLT, really want to look at the impact on rates, right? CPI has to do with the rates. So let's see here, UUP. So TLT goes up, UUP goes down. That means rate expectations actually seem to be going down. So usually the bond market is the smarter market, a better tell. So this is basically right now telling you that, hey, this inflation report wasn't so bad, even though it's 6.4 versus 6.2. It's saying, maybe the worst is past us. I don't know what they're thinking, but UUP here down is good for risk assets. But everything's vacillating between green and red, definitely mixed signals. So, what we got to do is focus on our stock picking. We have two special guests today. Well, we have one we're going to get to is Dan Carlson on INMB and TFFP. So stay tuned for that. And then Vegas will join us soon. Now, I got there were lots of earnings last night. So I'm going to fly through this. And I've read the press releases on most of these. So what I'm going to do is just fly through these earnings reports and give you like a one-sentence summary. Let's start like this. GEO, bad, right? We're going to dig into why. GEO, bad earnings, bad guidance. It beat on the top and bottom line slightly, but the guidance was bad, and there was some commentary in the press release I didn't like. So let's do that quickly. Actually, I'm going to spend a little more time on GEO than the rest. So if you go into your Newswire here, Business Wire, GEO, there's a few things in here. First of all, they have a lot of debt, but that was known, okay? But there were two things they talked about here. They were talking about pressure on margins in 2023 because of inflation. Okay, not a big surprise, but they called it out, so that could be a negative. But their guidance was below estimates, a good amount below estimates. Like they came in, what was the headline here? At 80 to 102 cents versus $1.25 estimates. Okay, and if you go into this, they actually talk about utilization. And I was a little bit surprised by the numbers on utilization. And they have some. Here we go. Our full 2023 guidance reflects no assumption for the potential reactivation of our current idle facilities, which total approximately 11,000 secure services bed and 2,000 reentry beds. So they're saying they have all these idle ones, and they're not giving a forecast that they're going to become not idle. Okay, so that was, to me, that was the most negative part of this, right? That they're not giving us good guidance, and there was actually additional numbers in terms of utilization somewhere in here, ISAP program here, number of participants in the ISA program. All right. Also, no commentary here, and it looks like as a result of recent immigration policy changes and budgetary pressures, and presently the number of participants in the ISA program is below 290,000. Okay, so again, no comment here that they expect this to go up. That basically they're expecting it to be steady. So that takes away kind of like the sentiment pillar for me. So I sold out my shares in the pre-market on GEO at all different prices, but as soon as I could, starting at 7 a.m. So that's the story with GEO. Palantir, last night, my instinct was to take a trade on this. So I quickly got in at like 850 or so, but I bought some more. I sold some, playing with it. This morning, my opinion is a little bit different. But last night, the reason I wanted to take a quick trade was because I've heard a lot about Palantir. I don't know this company well, but I hear a lot about it from very smart people. I've heard a lot last couple of years, and they've been wrong. All the way down, they've been wrong. Now, yesterday, they flipped to profitability, the first time they've ever been profitable. So when I see a company that's liked by a lot of smart people, that they believe the fundamentals are going to be good for this company long term, and they flip to profitability after a long period of underperformance, to me, that's a good sign of, hey, let's go, right? But this morning, a couple analysts came out with price targets. One was like neutral, and one was, I don't know, was it downgrade? But basically, they're both at neutral, but $8 price targets. One dropped from 9 to 8, one increased from 7 to 8. Maintains at neutral at Mizuhi, and then there was another one in here you can find that they dropped from $9 to $8. So although it's good news that they flipped to profitability, these price targets of $8 not so exciting. So because of that, I'm not as excited about this as I was yesterday. So let's see, you gapping over the 200 DMA. You have resistance here at 921, and after hours last night it got rejected a few cents above that at 921. If it's going to rally, I would say that's a major resistance level for today. And you got your support there right at the 200 DMA at 820. This might be something where you can buy these support levels now that they flipped to profitability, the 200 DMA, the 20, and the 50. I don't think this is going below all those key moving averages after you flip to profitability for the first time. Now, there are 3 earnings reports here, which I thought were very, very good. And I bought all 3 in pre-market. At least one of these I already own in my IRA. SKYT. I think maybe I own some BTU. Not sure though. But SKYT, GFS, BTU, all really, really good earnings. SKYT, listen, I'm not deeply familiar with any of these 3. Okay, I've been throwing these out there for people to collaborate on and potentially, give us presentations on or to chat about in one of our weekly meetups. But so far, not a lot of takers. I saw Julian got interested finally in SKYT this morning. But I do have a small amount of SKYT. I added more this morning. This earnings report looks really good. They're talking about 25% growth in 2023, duplicating their growth in 2022. And they're saying they're not going to feel any effects of macroeconomy issues. SkyT, this is a semiconductor fab company, and they actually work with Quick on something, QUIK, on this big Department of Defense contract. So SkyT, you can take a look at their numbers. They were pretty good. It doesn't look too cheap, numerically. I don't have, where are the numbers? There's no headlines on numbers, but if you go into the press release, you look at their numbers, it doesn't look so cheap, not so expensive necessarily. Here we go. You can see the revenue and the earnings, but the commentary was great. And that's what the market moves on. The commentary, just like that poor commentary on GEO, great commentary on SkyT. Actually, I'd like to listen to the conference call on SkyT and learn a little bit more about this company. So I'm thinking this stock can rally throughout the day. And it's had prior big moves over here. You can see this big move over here. So where are our resistance levels? Let's take a look at that. We have 1277, 1277. When was that? Just a couple days ago, 1277. I think it's a good chance we're going to break that 1277 and maybe make a move into the $14 area. But I'd love to get more feedback, opinions, commentary on what you thought of the earnings report. GFS, another semiconductor company, US based, really good earnings. And actually, if you go to the news feed, you'll see it was a beat on the top here. Earnings revenue beat expectations right there. Pretty big beats. The company generated fourth quarter net income of $1.21 per share. Or $1.44 adjusted. So $1.44 adjusted versus $1.33. And revenue was $2.1 billion versus $2.07 billion. So a nice beat on GFS. Let's see what we see on resistance levels here. You can see it clearly right up here in the 3-month chart. We got blocked 69.29. So that'll be your first. Oh, and that's a major area of resistance up there at 69.29 because it got blocked up there at the same exact level. And then 52-week high after that. So this is one I think could continue to outperform and have kind of an upward bias today. BTU, this is the coal company. I mean, their numbers are so good. They've always been good over the past year and a half. But again, if you actually read this report, I didn't see any kind of warnings about any kind of slowdown. I think the PE is like 3 here. You can see adjusted EPS 389 beats 216. Sales 1.63 billion beats 139. Yeah, here we go. So here's the full release. So if you go into this, you'll see that there was no kind of commentary that we expect things to slow down or anything like that. And all bullish all around. I mean, what is this? Like a 3 PE? It's ridiculous. But I guess the market is thinking coal prices will not stay at these levels. And if they're wrong about that, I mean, could this be a $50, $60, $70 stock in a year? I don't know. Maybe. It's very hard on these ones where the market doesn't believe prices will be sustained. It's very hard to kind of predict where the price is going to go based on a ratio. So you can see right here, another thing to look at, 12.6% short. So that could drive positive price action today. So those three had the best earnings. Okay, GEO bad, Palantir neutral. Those three great. CLF was kind of a miss from what I saw. There's a steel company, so I'm not interested in playing CLF this morning. There was earnings on QIPT, the one that Aaron Warwick was on our show talking about. I don't have an opinion on this. I don't know the company well. You can see the headline there. The net EPS wasn't so great. It was like a penny, right? Net EPS for the quarter, not such a huge deal. But the adjusted EBITDA was very good, and the growth rate pretty good. I think there's an analyst price target out there that was set at $10 yesterday. So I don't have a position in this. Don't have an opinion. You can check it out. A couple of penny stocks that could move on ChatGPT news today. There were two. AIAD, which we're familiar with, which had a big run earlier on ChatGPT news. Oh my gosh, like from less than a penny to over 2 cents, pulled back to support level here. So I may be interested here at this support level. They had a follow-up news release on ChatGPT of basically the progress they've made with it, and they've tested it, and they're releasing it to the market. And it says here, we're now taking a personal AI ChatGPT approach to market with our clients and already generating buzz about the anticipated increased performance of personalized campaigns. So you can take a look, longer press release about how they're actually integrating ChatGPT into their ad platform. So this is one I think could bounce off their support levels. There's another kind of junky stock, gamble stock you can look at, ChatGPT news, RCRT. I don't have an opinion on it, just putting it out there in case you want to look at it. So it's RCRT. And actually, I put the ChatGPT news in our WhatsApp for those of you who have access to the WhatsApp platform, which is going to be a legacy platform, by the way, but we still have that going for our old users. You can take a look at RCRT. All right. What else do we got here? QIPT, AIAD. Okay, ACTG had news this morning. They commencing the rights offering at $5.25. Starboard is expected to buy millions of shares at $5.25. The stock here, $4.16. So Matt Kolb has been telling us about this for a while, and his expectation that, you know, especially maybe when it's completed at $5.25, you can see the price start moving towards $5.25. But now that rights offering has been commenced, today, possibly. This is something on my radar. I might take a play in this because it is expected they're going to sell millions of shares at $5.25 with the stock only at $4.16 here. CETX, I sold out of that yesterday, just monitoring it because I think they're supposed to have earnings today. So that's another junk stock I wouldn't hold long term. All right, INMB. Dan Carlson's not here yet. So let's just go down our list. We are going to talk, if he gets here, on INMB and TFFP. Let me send him a quick little reminder over here. Okay, so that will be INMB and TFFP. GNSS, this had a good day yesterday after earnings on, I believe, Friday. And Chris Tuttle in our room was quite impressed with not the numbers, but a deal that they got as part of that earnings release. Is it this one, February 9th? I don't know if it's just on a word contract, probably critical. No, I think I don't know if it's Aramco. I think it's something else. But there was a deal that came with this 14th. When is the 9th? Is the 9th on Thursday or Friday? Let's see. Yeah, Thursday. So I guess it was this deal. So Chris Tuttle gave us So Chris Tuttle gave us some good commentary on that deal. So I actually stepped in when he said that at like 365. Had a good day, closing at 384 today. So maybe we will collaborate more with Chris Tuttle today on GNSS. Just one more, and then Dan's here in the backstage. So TPCS, this is Mark Gomes' favorite stock. Earnings, I believe, are today after the close. Now, there is substantial speculation based on research that Mark has done, that he's been telling his community on ours, that he believes with earnings today, they're going to announce a reverse split and an uplisting. And that's what's been driving some of this increased volume and price action from 240 to 260. So stay tuned for earnings tonight. Potentially, we get great news maybe we'll get this OTC stock uplisted with good earnings in the defense space, which is a good stock to be in, good industry to be in, with what's going on with the potential recession. All right, let's bring on now Dan Carlson. Dan Carlson from Tailwinds Research. How you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
Start my camera, I think. There we go. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
There we go.
All right, great. We got 5 minutes. I wanted to bring you on to talk about INMB and TFFP. I believe there are some catalysts. Well, there's certainly great price action in INMB over the last couple of weeks. And I believe TFFP had some more management changes. So start on whichever one you want to start with.
All right. Well, sorry I'm late and I'm a mess this morning. Just went for a walk, so I was running late.
All right. No
let's start with Immune Bio, INMB.
Okay.
So I'm starting with this because it's my top pick of the year. I've been saying that since late last year. And I think what's happening here is people are positioning for the upcoming FDA approval of their Alzheimer's getting started in the U.S. And I think that's imminent. And that hold has been kind of a lead weight for this company that's going to be lifted at some point in the not too distant future. Meanwhile, they got other programs that are going very well. They've had excellent data. And the Alzheimer's program is running in Australia and Canada, and they're very excited about it. So I think they have a number of positive things going with a really big catalyst coming up, hopefully in Q2.
So Q2 will be the lift of that clinical hold?
Well, we hope so. That's a guess.
Right. Well, we hope so, yeah. I hope so. So, yeah, interesting. I noticed, I got a little excited. I thought we might have a technical break. There's 9.27% of the float is short. But if you look at the days to cover, it was what was it, like 18 days or 28
I think
days?
you said, yeah.
18 days. That's crazy. So, if there is good news, and look at this nice W pattern forming on the chart. So what would you say, like, kind of fundamentally, if we lift that clinical hold, there's 175 market cap. How do you estimate, what this company should be worth once that clinical hold is hopefully removed?
Well, it's going to be worth, in my mind, it should go back to hitting its highs based on that, but not immediately. But that's about a $30 stock. So about somewhere like 400, 500 million market cap. There's no reason to think that the market cap should be lower when they're in a phase 2 that's going well, and they've had excellent data, tangential data the whole way along.
Can you just remind us why they had the clinical hold?
They had to switch manufacturers of the drug because the previous manufacturer went out of business. So it
was a manufacturing issue. It wasn't a safety or efficacy issue.
Exactly. And like I said, the Australia and Canada approved the new manufacturer, and the trial's progressing fine. And it's more an FDA issue. Not to pick on them, but they're understaffed, and they get junior people that it's easier for them to kick the can than to approve something.
All right, got it. I like the overview. Anything else you wanted to add there before we go to the next stock?
Nope. That's it for that one. Yeah.
All right. So TFFP, man, this stock has been just murdered. I saw a lot of management changes over the last couple months, and I thought maybe it's going to react to that, but it really hasn't. It's stuck here under $1, $32 million market cap. What's it going to take to start moving this?
Well, the issue with TFF is the previous management, overpromised and underdelivered, and that takes a long time to work its way through. So you've got a situation now where they have a company update call on this coming. I think it's is it tomorrow? It's tomorrow or Thursday. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's happening this week, and if they announce that the 2 phase 2 trials are moving forward and on their existing timeline, I think that'll be very positive. If they push those out, you're going to see another whack in the stock, and that's really what it comes down to now. My base thesis on this company all along was that the phase 2 drugs look really good and have a lot of value, and I believe that's the case. And everything else was icing on the cake. Well, the icing's been taken away, but now we have to see if the cake's rising.
All right, great. So we have an event either tomorrow or Thursday that could be a catalyst for the stock. What about their cash runway at this point?
Their cash is they just did a financing late last year. Their cash is ample to get them through the phase 2 programs, which are key milestones. So I'm not too worried about cash. It's can they execute on these trials is the only real question in my mind.
Got it. All right. So we're
but I
bargain
will say
basement
that
prices here.
they had brought in an interim CEO, and he just announced full-time status, and he's out of retirement. I know he doesn't need to work, so I think that's a positive sign that he likes what he's seen. So
awesome. Thank you, Dan, for that quick update. Where can people follow you or website? What do you want to give?
twresearchgroup.com.
Awesome. Thank
Weekly
you so
newsletter,
much.
free, and you sign up for it. So thanks, Ben.
Definitely recommend it. Dan's a great researcher. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ben. Bye.
Yep. All right, we're going to bring Vegas on in just a second, but there's a couple of stocks I forgot to talk about real quick. We have earnings for GNRC tomorrow morning. We have GNS. We have that YouTube live stream with the CEO tomorrow after the close. And we have Sting earnings on Thursday morning, STNG. Okay, so with that, let's bring on Vegas. Good morning, Vegas. How you doing? Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Lots of love is in the air. So what's going on this morning?
CPI market's all choppy. I mean, how are you playing? Are you playing markets at all or individual stocks? What's your
well, you know what? I'm going to wait and see because we do have a Fed speaker this morning at 9:30. So I'm going to wait and see. Let's see what the market does. I definitely don't want to see the SPY go under 411 today because if it does, that'll be looking bearish to me if it goes under 411. I'd like to see this reverse if it can and get back towards the 414.50 level. So it's going to wait, let the market, digest all this news. We had a volume surge right when the news came out. Then we had some pull back down to like 412, and then it reversed a little to 414.19, then pulled back here. So it's kind of like choppy information. So I don't really like trading in chop. So I just want to wait and see if there'll be any kind of reversal opportunities or not. And just going to watch right now. I'm not going to jump into anything in particular just yet, and wait to see what the market wants to do here. Got to be really patient in these market conditions right now.
Sounds very smart. I like that. Yeah, you have a little more discipline than me. I like that. We're looking at the news. I see 3 stocks with really good news this morning: SKYT, GFS, BTU. So my instinct is to jump on the news, but I like your approach better. Let the market settle down a little bit. I'm wondering if you had any thoughts on Palantir because that's a very popular stock.
Yeah, I know the company really well. Love the company. Yeah. Love the earnings report for finally going to be profitable. Forecast for 2023. I do like PLTR if it can actually break today, 885. Has room to like 925 and maybe 950 and 987. So, some traders are going to watch the break of $9. So I think I'll wait for it to break $9 and then consider a day trade on PLTR. I'm also watching Meta. I still like Meta. So I want to see if it gets back over 180.45. And if it does, I want to see this head towards like 185.50 if it can make a move. But again, it's not going to make that move yet unless the SPY cooperates. So I'm watching. So now I'm just going to watch SPY today.
Yeah. Tell me, what was your key level for SPY again?
414.50 has to break. So that is the key break today. 414.50. So if we can break that level, then bulls have a chance to push this through. But right now, we're kind of teetering towards the bear zone here. Definitely, like I said, don't want to see it under 411. It's gone as low as 411.21 so far pre-market. But I'm used to these pullbacks, and I've seen it many times where it's pulled back, and then all of a sudden, like around 11 o'clock, sometimes there's like some serious reversals. So we're going to be watching. The 2-year Treasury high though is hitting year-to-date highs, so we really don't like seeing that. So it could create some volatility again to the downside. So going to be watching also the US dollar as well. Very important to monitor the US dollar.
We monitor conditions. That every morning. I see UUP back to about break even after some initial good reaction. But All right, Vegas. Thank you so much. People can
You're
follow
welcome.
Vegas at I Love Stocks 1 on Twitter. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Yep. All right. And we're out of here. Also, we will see you at actually, let me just give you a quick shout out. If you're watching this on YouTube, our app is can be downloaded now at storytrading.com/app. All right. We haven't advertised this yet because we're waiting to put a paywall up in it. Before we do that, the paywall is not up yet. So if you're listening to get this, you get a sneak peek. You get to get into our app and watch all these shows live for free until we put that paywall up, which will be another week or two. So you can get in and get a quick little sneak preview. Storytrading.com/app. We'll see you at post market wrap today at 4 p.m. Have a great day, everyone.